We'll start with a brief introduction about yourselves. Can we start from that side, Dr. Neeru, about your school, about what you do?
Alright, I'm Dr. Madhuri Parti. I have been into education for almost 3 decades now. I have managed Ryan International chain for around 13 and a half years. I have been vice president with Educom, director with Sriram, worked with Lakshmi Singhania Education Foundation, heading that foundation. And currently I work as a strategic director with an online school, which we all know is the future of education. I was watching an ad yesterday, it said MIT University online. So universities are already online, so we are waiting for schools to reach there. And I'm a mother of 4, grandmother of 3, unfortunately, fortunately, wife of only 1. So I have 2 kids, both are married, so I become a mother of 4. And between the 2 couples, we have 3 boys who are handful.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Ms. Mousumi.
I'm Mukherjee. I was not really interested in teaching. The initial stage I was with the advertising agency. But when I started teaching my son, I thought I could motivate my son by teaching others so that he would be motivated by seeing others doing it. So in that way I came into this profession and now I'm loving my profession. I don't want to leave my kids. Today I had to take an off to join this and I was worried about my kids. I teach grade 2, grade 3 and grade 5. So different kinds of mentality, the children, when they are growing up, I can see the changes in them and I really enjoy my profession and I respect a lot. But today I got a chance to discuss this with everyone. I like to say some things which I have in my mind, which always I try to discuss with the parents and my students. Let's see if we can do something better or not. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am, for taking out your time today and being here with us. So, Dr. Neeru, I want to ask you, today's topic for discussion is building future-ready schools and how can we not talk about digitization? This is the era of digitization with AI, with Meta, with AR, VR models coming into this space for learning experiences. What are you doing at your school? How are you using technology to enhance the learning experience?
As I said, I am a strategic director with an online school which is nothing but technology. We are only using technology to teach Cyboard school which is online. And I think I would continue with just what Pooja said, that we are human beings as a race and then we humanoids. I was reading an article by Mind Valley by which said that we are human beings, but what we have become today is human doing. All the time we are doing. I think we need to train our children to use technology, but at the same time, content is all in the thin air. Content is no longer the king. Earlier, teacher was called a teacher, a guru, because teacher knew a lot of content which was not available for the child anywhere else. But today, integrating technology, content is already there. So how we kind of make it into a learning experience for children is far more critical than only dispersing content.
So, Ms. Mousumi, how important is it to foster digital literacy? Do you have different programs at Goenka where you're fostering digital literacy skills among the students?
Yeah, we have. In every class we are having the smartboards and we are using the tablets and the children are asked to use them on their own. They are even smarter than us. Sometimes we are not able to do it. They teach us, no ma'am, do it like this, then do it like this. So, and we have the robotics also, so they enjoy doing that. And now these children are much more comfortable in the digital world than us. But sometimes I feel like they should be like the way we study, they should go that stage also. this is how it was and now how it is. But they are comfortable in the digital and they make us also, they force us also to do it. It's okay, things are progressing, let it be. But sometimes, in an orthodox thinking, I think we need the way we were in our stage. So let's see, because some parents complain they are always on the phone, but when we are taking the online classes, they are on the phone, they are on their tabs, they are on the laptops. So they come and ask, "Ki ma'am, mother was saying ki don't be on the phone, but we take the classes on the phone. So why are we asked like this?" So I don't know how to balance this.
Thank you. Dr. Neeru, we'll now touch the aspect of collaborations. It's very important for students to have real world experiences in today's state. It only happens with guest lectures, with industry associations, with internships. What are your views on this? Are you doing something in this space?
I think today we are living in a world of collaboration. Collaboration is a must. It's not that like yesteryears, we just have teachers coming in teaching and children go out and do nothing about it. I think I come from a school from Delhi, which is St. Thomas's Mandir Mark, and my principal was Joy Michael. I'm going back to the Pritham strategy. Like he said, my school days. So in our school days, after grade 10, we were not given summer holidays. Right? Mrs. Joy Michael ensured that each and every girl of that school, one day we used to go and visit, there was an orphanage called Palna. We would visit that. Mother Dairy plant उस time नया खुला था मुझे आज भी याद है I would have frozen to death in that month of April May when we finished our exam. We were taken there. Maurya's had just started, ITC wala Sardar Patel. We were taken there. It was mandatory for us जो लोग दिल्ली के हैं दिल्ली की geography को समझते हैं. We had that Panchkuya Road blind school next to our school. It was compulsory for us to work with one blind student through grade 9, 10, 11, 12, right? And for 5 days we had to go and stay in SOS village. तब खाली फरीदाबाद वाले के पास वाला होता था. 5 दिन before we get our 12th class certificate, we had to go and stay with a family there at SOS village. Right? I have lived with a blind couple to see what kind of challenges do they have and what alternates can be. We're talking about design thinking today. I'm talking about 81. I think I'm an antique piece already. I'm 59. Right? So I probably owe it to my school for whatever I've learned till about now, whatever I'm able to do till about now. Imagine in late 70s and early 80s, we were visiting blind school. St. Stephen's Hospital near Kashmiri Gate. We had to go there and visit the burn ward to see what happened, what was the cause. So empathy came in from there, empathy came in from SOS Village. So there was so much collaboration that I learned during my own school time that I tried to do at least 3 times more in a world which is full of collaboration today. That's the time when schools existed in silos. Today we are living in a world of collaboration. So I think I practice it almost 3 times more than what my school made me do. So we are into like, you name it and we do it. Right? From working with different countries of different, governments of different countries, right? From taking children for, I think we were the first school at Reliance when I was the first convener in 1995 who started MUN. We started doing a theatre festival. The word MUN came to India when my first batch of children had gone to attend the first one of the Far West to SA. So collaboration will be the key word, but I think what we are seeing today is, pardon my saying, but there is a little hollowness also. People are doing it just to put pictures on the social media in the evening. So if that can be avoided and thorough work can be done with the children, just not name tags, it will bring a lot of result. So welcome our panelist, Amol, here we are.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us. And thank you, ma'am, for sharing your personal experiences with us. Ms. Mousumi, your views on this?
As Ma'am was saying, I was really glad to hear that because this is all what we did. So I want the same thing with my children now. They are lacking all that because whenever we are asking them, write about something you have visited, they write about we have visited a mall. I'm shocked. There are so many children still in Delhi. They did not visit Qutub Minar. They do not know what Red Fort. No, ma'am, we have to walk along. We cannot go there. So this is what is happening. Zoo, no, ma'am. We don't like to go to the zoo. We can see them on the TV. So this is what is happening. I don't know whether it is our fault or whether the fault is from the parents' side. Because the parents need a lot to learn. Because parenting now is a different type. Because anything happens in the school, चल आज तेरी मैम को हम दिखाते हैं. So this is the word, this is the language that has been used by the parent to the child. So what is he or she is learning? So who is responsible for that? Those little ones, whatever we feed them, it has been they just absorb all of them. So we feed the good things, they take it. We feed the bad things, they take it. They are not able to make the difference. They do not know about planting. They do not. We did lot of gardening. They are not into that. They know that they will go to the shop, they will get a pot, and they will bring it to school. So this is what I do not like. I want them to play. I want them to do the gardening. I want them to cook something. So we should have all those facilities in the school. If we have those facilities, then I think they will learn a lot of responsibilities. They will know that this is our responsibility to keep our school, our surroundings clean. They do not do that. Whenever any birthday party or something, they just eat it and they throw the wrappers. Why? Because we are not teaching them. We are blaming. Either we blame that they learn it from home and from the parents, they blame it to learn from the school. But actually what we are doing. So this is what my way of thinking is.
Thank you. Very rightly said. Amol, we'll come to you. Can you explain the concept of, the concept of flipping classrooms is gaining a lot of prominence today. Can you explain to the audience what flipping classrooms are?
Okay. So flipping classroom, I think it's a very progressive system, and I was lucky that I got to study under the flipped classroom in college, where basically my economics professor realized that whatever he's teaching in the notes, he's doing the same thing here. So he recorded the video, gave us a CD, that time we had CD drives, gave us a CD, and he would say, ask me anything in the query. Watch the CD, ask me anything, all of you clear? One question would be given as a test, and that was our final exam. After like 12 periods, it would all add up to 8 marks per class, and that's it. So I love the concept, having studied myself. Why sit through a boring economics lecture of drawings or anything? Because it's going to be the same thing. The question is that how do I implement this in schools today, where the concept children can learn at home and the discussions happen in the class? Now, because essentially what happens in today's classrooms is the teacher comes with the notes which has been using for the past 10 years, 20 years, starts the blackboard, starts drawing it. Most of the children will just copy the thing on their classwork copy, and the homework is copy your classwork to homework copy. This is what you studied, and this is how I learned as well, right? But that doesn't make sense. There's no brain engagement at any point. So can we first have a system where the learning happens at home? And today, because of concepts like YouTube, activity-based learning, you can do that. Children can have some basic understanding. Why is it not being done then? The question is, yeah, it sounds great. Why children can watch a YouTube video, learn about volcano, watch a video, and then let's come to class, let's discuss and a lot of issues. One, it's the way our curriculums and structure, the lesson plans have been done. We still keep doing it, and everyone seems to be in that status quo model. Secondly, there's a difference between the haves and the have-nots as well. So not every child has access to it. Suddenly, imagine you as a teacher plan a class discussion, and half the class has not done it. And what do you do? When Papa ghar pe nahi the, I didn't have access to something, so it's a challenge. And then it requires an ability from the teacher's perspective. Whereas the teachers are not that capable of executing and managing this discussion between 50 kids who suddenly want to have a say. So everyone's like, ye to riot control ho jayega, everyone wants to say something. So everyone's with that thing. And as ma'am says, then what happens in the PTM? We put the blame back on the parents. कि हमारे तो 40 बच्चे हैं, आपका तो एक बच्चा है, उस पर ध्यान दीजिए. The parents say आपको फीस किस बात का देते हैं? So now the PTMs are traumatic for parents as for teachers, and बेचारा बच्चा तो किसी ने सोचा नहीं, it's a ping pong game. So I think flipped classroom should be there. I think there are elements of that. It requires a deeper understanding that you cannot just do a flipped classroom and expect कि बच्चे घर से सीख के आ जाएंगे. We'll have discussion in class and then everything will be hunky dory. That's good in theory, but practical way you can have a mix of it. Teachers can, so it can be a slow percolation. Start doing it. Maybe 20% kids will do it. Because the thing is, ideally we would want that every child, when we give them a device, use it for learning. वो होता नहीं है. You give a child device, he'll play games on it. He'll go on social media on it. So that is what ideally should happen, but होता नहीं है. So these, and their parents will say, I don't want to give my child a device. So don't have a device. Or there are multiple children. I saw in COVID with one device at home. So flipped classroom is a great concept. So I think one can do it through non-tech ideas. And I think teachers today can get a lot of ideas from tools like ChatGPT as well. Why do you need to think मुझे कोई seriously बताएगा कैसे पढ़ाना है? So I think we need to start doing it. Start incorporating parts of the flipped classroom in the classrooms today. So discussions become more meaningful, and it requires an effort from the teacher's perspective to change their lesson plans. If we do that, I think it's a great way of learning.
Thank you. Yes, please.
I think what Amol said makes a lot of sense. But if as we also see the challenges in flipped classrooms, so if flipped classroom is mixed with peer learning, it can get you better results. Say for example, I asked the children to study about revolt of 1857 or the French Revolution. Any example is a good example. So I give a task to one group of children to prepare about the causes, the other one the effects, the other one another topic, and then make a presentation in the class. I think if flipped learning is initially, as he said, we have to make it percolate, is mixed with peer learning, it will get better results initially in any school. We've done it and we have succeeded in that.
I think the motivation from a peer is very different. अरे तू करना ऐसे तो ऐसा तेरे पास नहीं है तो ऐसे कर लेना.
And when they are making the presentation,
teacher saying it is like how the dog ate my homework kind of a story would be there.
If you are giving this kind of work, you read the chapter, make your own questions, then come to the class. See, then parents come up with that कि मैम आपको पता है दूसरे मैम ने पढ़ाई के लिए सब कुछ घर में दे दिया तो फिर हम फीस क्यों भर रहे हैं? So this is the kind of question we get. They don't understand we are doing it in a different way to make it more interesting. Because when we ask children, you ask the question to your teacher, they are much more glad to do it. Because then they prepare themselves and they create their own questions. But parents can't take this.
So I think children are born naturally curious, and when you spark that curiosity, the questions come. I think that requires an orientation from the parents that this is what I'm planning to do.
I think a separate school should be there for parents also.
And just to orientation.
Okay. Parents are like that, not please.
Right. From the teacher's perspective, Ms. Mousumi, I want to add to what you said. Sometimes it is a natural instinct of a teacher to lead the class, right, to lead the students. But in this concept, teachers are taking a back seat. Do you think it's difficult for teachers to sometimes understand the concept, or what are your views on this as a teacher?
Concept, I didn't get you.
So teachers, they take a back seat in this concept, right? Do you think?
Sometimes it is, but we are trying to work on this and make it more interesting so that if the child is absolutely blank in the class and he's asked a simple question, he is not able to answer, that means he was not attentive. So that was a challenge for a teacher. That means the class was not at all interesting, so the child was not at all attentive in the class. So sometimes it becomes very challenging for us, but still we are working on this, and we are finding it that 80% of the children are enjoying it actually. Yes, one of the children are there. It's exceptional.
I think it takes a lot of courage on the role of parent for the teacher to go and ask me anything more with students. And today, with access to their Google and ChatGPT, they have access to information the teacher may not know. So it takes a lot of courage and confidence. I think teachers need to understand that they are not going to be the gatekeepers of knowledge, which they were in the previous generation. Now kids will have more information. You need to be okay with that and let them be. And it's okay to say I don't know the answer. Or let's check it up together. Let's just verify this fact together. That's interesting you mentioned that. So almost like you saying, okay, let everybody ask questions now. Who is scared, right? We have one kya bolne pata nahi, right? So it takes some guts to have that kind of environment. But I think we will get there because there's no option. It's just like COVID May, everybody was forced to learn technology. With all these things happening, I think we will not have any option but to let children take responsibility for their learning journey and not be custodians of that.
Very rightly said. Now, we'll come to sustainability and diversity and inclusion, two very hot topics today. I want to ask you, Dr. Neeru, I'll start with you. How do you think sustainability and diversity and inclusion, when we talk about kids who are specially abled or, the LGBT who identify themselves as different gender, just textual learning is not effective. The process of learning should be ongoing on these concepts. What are your views on this? How are you instilling these values among your students?
See, today schools don't need to do much. Media is doing enough already on this. We have, a row of Hindi movies. Bollywood is doing enough for it. But definitely, as a school, I think we need to kind of teach them respect anything and everything that God has created. It is all a creation of His. I may not be able to give you a very good answer for this. You would have asked me something else. I'm great at it. We do everything that is possible. Like we've had children with cerebral palsy. We have had children with all kind of mental, physical, gender issues, and we have accommodated them well with empathy, and empathy not kind of showing off empathy. As I told you, right from childhood, I work with blind school, I work with blind couples. So for me, it's like ingrained, not that I've done anything special. It's like they're in us, ingrained from our school. Yeah, so it comes automatically and naturally.
But there are instances of bullying. Amol, I want to know your views on this. We see a lot of bullying happening. So how do we avoid that? How do we make the process of sensitizing students much more smoother?
See, kids can be very harsh to each other. If you go back to your school days, the names we used to call each other today would not be acceptable in any other environment. So we have to understand that. Whether to make fun, whether just to pull the other person down. I think we need a lot of EQ in the way we teach our kids today. We have, as a society, we have a huge problem where we are so academically focused. That's what parents want. That's what schools are showing off. That's the school that gets the best students, attracts the best teachers, is who's in the rankings. Rankings are determined by grades. So if you're judging everybody on grades, then why do you expect me to start teaching empathy to children? Because no one's asking for not a single parent says बच्चे को ना अच्छा बच्चा बनाना. Nobody's asking me for that. Marks कितने हैं? इसके marks कितने हैं? बढ़ जाएंगे नहीं. So I think we, as a society, need to introspect this as a whole. What schools can do right now, I think we have a lot of opportunities within the curriculum. I think so when we are, for example, shortlisting our books also, we look at the stories. What kind of things are there? It starts very early. As to, you can't just say I'm going to have we had a subject called moral science. You just give the right, you know what is Twitter, you write the example. Ram should not have lied. Example. घर जाके dad is saying, अरे phone आके बोल दो घर पे नहीं. I mean, so that's not going to inculcate values and empathy. So we need to, as educators, again, we need to incorporate into every aspect of our learning, right from the assembly, the choice of book sets, to the activities, to everything we can embed again, I would say ChatGPT is an amazing tool. Why can't you think of ways to integrate it? There are so many ideas now. You don't have to look anywhere else for answers as an educator today. So I think we need to do that. A lot of sensitizing needs to be done. A lot of counselors should be there. We have a dire shortage of counseling in this country. We are the world's most depressed country as per WHO. The kind of mental issues kids are facing, some of them are because of academic pressure, some of them are because of peer pressure. So I think this realization of being more empathetic as a society, we need to do that because I think we are too short-term focused as a community. Parents, teachers, schools, everyone is guilty of this. We need to think more holistically, not at just their minds but at their hearts as well. I think that's what schools need to do, and I think it stirs from a basic responsibility. And school, how do we change that? And school leaders, educators who are aware need to start doing this. It requires orientation, not marketing, internal, external. This is the kind of kids we are trying to build. Get parents on board. ऐसे क्यों कर रहे हो ये सब चीजें? इससे तो ये तो एक पीरियड आपने इसमें ले लिया तो मैथ्स का आते इसमें. Why? So we can talk about this. How important this is. If your child goes to US and settle there, but doesn't call you for 2 years, would you consider that child a success? Not at all. You'll be depressed. You'll be in your old age. So we need to talk about holistic learning. What is Arora schools? And I think people who are aware of this, I think people will come on board. Parents will also come on board, and kids will also realize. If we are doing the proper PR inside.
Do you have something to add to that?
Actually, in my class, I have 3 special cases of this. So, one among them doesn't even talk and he doesn't even sit in one place. And the other 2, one is to always lie down on the floor, and if anything happens, she used to cry. And the other one was absolutely quiet but used to study. So when I got 3 together in the session, then I just thought to myself how I'm going to manage my class. Then I thought, no, let me take it as a challenge. It's not a rocket science that I cannot do. I have to do it. So when the first PTM, the parents came and said, my son is like this, so ma'am, you have to take special care. Even the girl's parent also said the same thing, you have to take special care of. And the third one also, same thing. I said, yeah, actually, all the children are special to me. So I have to take special care of every child of mine. So then I thought, no, let me do it in a different way. So the first child's name is Shaurya. He never used to talk. Whenever I used to say something, he used to look at me this way. As if I'm saying something which he did not like at all. So I said, no, Shaurya, are you comfortable doing this? So I said, I think you can do it. So first day he denied, second day he denied, third day he started doing it. And now at the end of the session, he sings in the bus, he makes others to sit down and makes them, please be in discipline, do not talk. Oh, this is a school bus, so you cannot act like this. So the teachers who are in the bus, they are shocked to see the changes in him. So I was really happy that I could bring this change in him. And this child and the girl who used to cry and lie down under the table, she used to sit under my table and she never used to come out of the table. Now she takes part, participates in the dance, in the singing, and she wants to go to the sports. So it's really happy to do this. I never did anything special. I just treated them like any other child. I did not take them as a special one. I said you could do it. You have to do it because you have no other choice. Because if you do not study, how will you go to the next class? So that is what kept them. And I kept them busy with many works in the class, like do this, distribute the notebooks. This itself gave them the confidence. So I enjoy doing it. I think because I don't like the parents saying this. My child is into depression. What is this depression? What do you mean by depression? Does he or she know about this? What is the word depression? You are the one who is making them doing it. What is depression? No, nothing. You make them, you engage them in their way of activities. That's what I said, na gardening. We did a gardening in our school. The children were so happy doing it. They are happy when their plants are growing. So this is what I want to say. That's all.
Thank you so much for sharing that. My last question will be open to all the panelists. I want to understand, according to you, what are some of the hard skills, what are some of the soft skills that are going to be necessary to prepare students for the future? We'll start from that side, Dr. Neeru.
I think what I did learn in my school, in spite of whatever I've been talking about my school, we didn't learn financial management at all, right? It's critical skill today. Um, Children are, there was a time when we used to have 4 science sections and parents would be lined up still to get their child into science section. Today it's the same thing with commerce. Yeah, it's the equation has completely reversed because people have understood its value, like money is value today. Under the softer skills, I would say emotional intelligence is very, very important. If they can look after the EQ, then IQ, SQ, and PQ can still be managed. But what is missing in today's world, it's world around, and it's not just with students. It's with all of us. What is missing? The biggest quotient that is missing in our cycle today is we don't have an adversity quotient. We don't have an emotional quotient, which is mature enough. We are unable to handle these two things. Communication, of course, because I don't know, we are confusing ourselves. We first got confused when communicative English came in, where we said it's language is only for expression, so you can make spelling mistakes, you can make grammatical mistakes, but put your point forward. So today, if I sit and interview a principal or a teacher for our schools, I've been a director with a couple of schools, I don't even find one person who is perfect with both the grammar and the language, right? So we have produced a confused generation. So English medium, so-called us as English medium schools, we don't have principals who can communicate in English, we don't have teachers who can communicate in English, right? So we have already confused ourselves. So either we kind of make sure, like most other countries, there are many, many other countries, they stick to their mother tongue. We either do that, all right, and say English is also one of the languages that we know. But here we have a confused generation, and it is getting worse by the day because teachers can't communicate in English. So the next generation that we are making, the degree is going lesser and lesser. Children were getting 99 on 100 in English. If you ask them to speak in English, I don't know how much they'll be able to do justice to. So I think that's one thing we all need to, I'm tired of saying this, we need to really think and decide as a country, what do we want to do? English could be a second language completely, right? So out of the harder skills, I would say financial management, adversity management, emotional quotient, and softer skills, empathy and communication. That's where I would sum it up.
Thank you so much.
I think I come with a very different perspective because I run a chain of about 600 schools across South Asia, and we're opening one school every week. So I'm almost spending 1 day a week hiring, doing interviews. On one hand, I'm training the next generation, about 60,000 kids. On the other hand, I'm interviewing them as well, right? So what I'm doing in my schools and what we are looking for are different skill sets. What do I look for? I look for a person who's a good learner, who can adapt, because what you are doing today, few months it will live. Are you a good learner? Are you a good team player? Can you express yourselves? Do you have the right empathy? Do you understand customer behavior? Are you self-motivated? Do you have a drive to make a change in the education sector? These are skill sets that I look for. People who sit on the edge of their seats. I look for them. No, what I'm saying is I look for them when I'm interviewing people. But when I think about it, in my schools, we're not doing it at all. In school, what are we training you to? Marks. Just how to crack the examination. That's what we are all training our children on how to, and that's what everybody wants. That how do you train your children? We are not preparing our children for life, because the purpose of schooling should be to prepare children for life. How do they look? How do they live happy, fulfilling life? That is the whole aim of everything. Even job is for happiness, right? So are we training children for life? So ma'am talked about financial skills, we talked about expression, talked about creativity, about all the 21st century skills. They are not being taught at all in schools. In fact, we tell our kids, अगर वो कुएं में कूद जाएगा, तुम भी कूदोगे. Every parent says that to the children. When the child gives an excuse, Papa, वो भी तो जा रहा है movie देखने, and then we give the same answer. And then, so we are training them to say, be focused on yourself, be focused on yourself. And then when they enter the workplace where you have to work in a collaborative environment, there'll be hardly any job where you sit alone. वो कौन सा काम ऐसा होगा? Maybe a gig on Fiverr or something where you'll be working alone. That thing is not there. So we are training kids for something जो कि उसका कोई फायदा नहीं होने वाला. Memorization went out of the door the day Google came in. Chat GPT is now questioning your creativity skills. हम बात कर रहे हैं ban करने का Chat GPT को. All colleges, schools are all about banning. It's an amazing tool. It's like having a mobile phone. Why aren't you training our children how to do prompt engineering? क्या in the workplace क्या नहीं होने वाला क्या उनके पास? They will have Chat GPT. They know how to use it. One professor asked me a question. If I ask a question and everybody answers from Chat GPT, how do I give marks? I said, certainly your question is wrong then.
I'm very sorry to interject you, but is the only goal for life having a career? Does studies and education not mean becoming the best version of yourself as a human?
Yeah, that's what I said. The purpose of schooling is to prepare children for a happier life,
Right.
not
right,
just career.
right.
So we are too focused on exams.
Exactly.
We are just looking at the next step, not even beyond that. So if I tell the parents I'm training your child for a career where collaborative learning, unlearning, makes a marks. So we have right now in society we need to work on that. I think we are training our children to something skills which are not required in today's workplace. I don't need you to understand कि 1857 में क्या हुआ था, कौन किससे लड़ा था. That is irrelevant. And we are wasting our children's childhood on learning and focusing on stressing on all this. It's a really good thing. This coaching thing I got banned before 16. Class 6 IT coaching कर रहे हैं. These children are going to be one-dimensional. They'll be the ones who will be committing suicides because they are not, as ma'am said, they are not emotionally mature enough to handle failure.
I was back home watching Dragon Ball Super. I don't know that. I mean, that's crazy. That's crazy. For a 6-year-old, a student who's in the 6th standard preparing for IIT,
They'll become one-dimensional human beings. They will not be able to sustain a happy relationship with their spouse because all they've been told to do is ispe focus kar. All their formative years have gone down the drain. It's the most detrimental thing you can do is to put their children to IIT coaching at a very early stage.
Right. Thank you so much, Amol. Our time is up, but Ms. Mousumi,
My way of thinking is also the same because why should they learn about French Revolution and why should they learn about all this? They do not know about nothing about our country. When we talk about Independence Day or something, they are not aware of it, but we are making them learn about other things. So I agree with sir, and this is I don't know whether we are wasting our time or whether we are wasting their time. What to teach them?
I'm going to change that. Rather than what happened, what were your learnings from that? Why did the British come and capture us? हम लोग एक नहीं थे. What can we apply that in today's world? That is important. You have history. You should have history, but your focus needs to change. We are focusing on the wrong things.
Right.
thank you so much, everybody. Thank you so much to all the panelists for joining us today.